get to the core of a problem. I've learned these tools.
Let me talk.
To be able to attack people and to bring out their inner side. When you establish a straw man and start doing these tactics, it's psychological warfare at its finest. It's psychological warfare at its finest.
Seems like it's been a bit of a bad time for Lee Veltman lately, and rightly so. Yeah, I support what this channel's doing for sure, but don't stop there. So I'm going to join in next.
You need to do a post-analysis, man.
Listen. You know what? I predict Lee Veltman just fucking all over the place, just fucking jizzing.
Buckle up.
That's it. It's going to be a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. And Jiggy.
It's going to be.
I'm taking my pants off.
It's been a roller coaster since day one, baby.
What happens in their private life is their private fucking life. It has nothing to do with me. I'm here for the facts about the grifters and the conners and the liars and the snake oil salesmen. That's it. I don't give a fuck about people's fucking personal lives and what they're doing unless they're fucking lying and conning and grifting and selling snake oil. So again, keep paranormal hood out of your mouth.
Keep paranormal hood out of your mouth. Wow.
All right, welcome to my broadcast. Probably a certain portion of you are the enemy. It seems like obviously you were watching my show last night because Smoke King went on last night doing a show about Karens. I guess now Smoke King's answer to his group of people. All right. And you know, I should probably give you, just in case you don't know what's happening or you're not caught up to speed here, you don't know what's going on, you're new to my channel and you're not one of them. Let me shoot this really quick for a second. And you're not part of the crew, which I'm pretty sure it looks to me like this crew of people, these trolls, must be watching what I'm doing on my little channel right now, because and I think it's probably Jilly Bean, you know. I think it's the person who's known as Jilly Bean, because last night it just so happened that I saw a Paranormal Hood live stream last night, and I know it was about, I know they were talking about me on some level because Robin Eaglesong, right, was in the chat and she said something like, how's the college student journalist, the journalism student, which I know you're talking about me because I am a journalism major in college. And by the way, if you want to know how I am, last semester I got a 4.0. And this semester, I'm most likely going to get a 4.0 or pretty damn close to it. And the only grade that I might be getting a B in is my math class. All right. So if you want to know how I'm doing quite well and I'm learning a lot. All right. So just so you guys know that, like, you're not dealing with somebody who's pretending like they're going to college. You're not dealing with somebody that's not a good student. You're not dealing with somebody that's not getting informed about how to write, report things. And by the way, I'm a good writer, right? I mean, I'm a comedian. I've written things. I've written screenplays before. I've done stuff. So don't ever think that I'm some sort of right-wing Karen person making complaints. All right, and I'm going to show you guys exactly the receipts I have. See, here's the deal. Lee Veltman is a person on the internet that has been hanging around the UFO community, the conspiracy community, and more specifically, the Buanon people. Now, Lee Veltman has, there are other women, and there are receipts about this. There were videos about this, and I've actually showed it on my channel because I don't talk about things that I don't find evidence for. I don't speak on my channel without being able to back up what I say, or at least show something and question what it is. I might not determine exactly what that is, but I can show you. I don't just flap off my mouth and make up shit about people. And I don't sit here and pride my channel in ripping and shredding people apart. I don't go hang out in other people's chat rooms and try to trigger them with, saying something personal to them that they would get upset about. You know, Lee Veltman, I know you hide in my chat. I know you have sock puppet accounts. I've proven it. And I'm going to show I'm going to show you guys a few graphics because I have graphics ready, chosen. And I'm going to, document your behavior about what's going on. All right. Lee Veltman has been on my tail for 5 years now. Right. And then I realized that Lee Veltman and his crew are associated to Paranormal Hood. As a matter of fact, all of them were the only people in the live chat pretty much last night. Besides me, maybe a couple of other people came in, but it's and Smoke King, how do you justify having 1,000? I think your count was like 1,046K subscribers or something like that, but you only got 6 people in your chat. I got 13 people right now, and I only have 454 subscribers. So where are your subscribers at? Like, maybe you should be asking yourself, they're tired of what you're up there talking about. Your bully channel is what you have. Now, you might be doing what you think you're doing about I'm also, I don't know if you realize this, but I also call fake people out in this media. I also do the same thing that you do, or you claim to do. But, and you say, oh, well, it's perfectly fine. I'm okay smoking these blunts. Not really. Technically not. I don't know why YouTube is still allowing it, because I know other channels have been shut down for using drug usage. As a matter of fact, I got my channel nicked, my last one, because I interviewed somebody who made vape pens, and it was describing how they made it or how their product was. And I got that video removed because it was like, oh, you're giving out information about how to make cannabis. So yeah, maybe some of you guys are under the radar, and maybe, in some ways in legalization, you're under the radar. But I think that when you sit there and you have a smoke-filled hazed room, and then you're sitting there smoking and talking your shit, I don't find it credible. I don't find it credible. I think people that are on the outside that aren't part of your little crew are going to go, that guy is questionable. And I made a video last night. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and play it because I did take a little clip out of a show. He's already made his commentary on it, on his shorts. But I'm going to go ahead and share that. See why am I talking about this again? Because I got an email from somebody that was a guest on my show 2 weeks ago, and they were telling me that they were being stalked. 2 of my guests have been stalked by these guys. And the person that said this to me said that they are now going to be terminating, they're 90% sure that they're going to be terminating their own YouTube channel and stepping back from everything, because people in their personal life are also being stalked. And that's when it gets out of control. And if you guys want to say, oh, I'm lying, or I'm, that we're being Karens because Lee Veltman is having his reign on trolling, Because, like, honestly, you know, Robin Ega song, it doesn't matter what age you are, your channel's ugly. Your channel is a lot. You guys all hang out together and you all have each other's back and you all sit back and you trash people on your channel. And I think it's interesting that the group of you collect together, you hang together, you do things that are criminal on the internet. What you're doing is actually criminal. You're upsetting people's life. You're stalking people. You're scaring people. And it should be stopped. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's not okay. It's not okay to do that in this community. And how I got into it with Smoke King is because of what Lee Veltman's been doing to women. And I called people out. I called C.W. Chanter. I said, is this what should be done here on the internet with women? Should they be traumatized and trolled by Lee Veltman? And my answer is that I got blamed for disrespecting Jiggy, which had nothing to do with what I was talking about. Nothing to do with it. So Smoke King did a whole thing. That's what the whole take paranormal hood out of your mouth and this kind of stuff. Well, you had no receipts on that, didn't you? You had no receipts that I didn't disrespect him. You have no receipts on me. I have nothing in my past. I didn't work at a Burger King and sell drugs while I was the manager there. It doesn't matter if it's 25 years ago. What matters is it is an example of your character. It's an example of your character. It's an example of your past. Who's to say that you're not the same guy you were when you were working at Burger King 25 years ago? Can you prove that you're not? And you just say that so cavalier, like I was selling drugs in the back of Burger King. Like it's nothing. Like you're so far gone in your mind, I think, that you think that that's just like saying, yeah, you know, I used to work for, Greenpeace or something. Like I used to work at, Carl's Jr.'s. Like, it's just nothing. Like, oh, yeah, I sold drugs out of a Burger King. And you know what? You still associate with people with drugs. And I'm going to show you how I know this. So let's first play what he said last night about himself. I just want to play it. I know he put it up on his channel, but, since I got the receipt, I might as well play it. Okay. Pull it up here. Wait. Hold on. I'm over it. I'm not backing down. I'm not shutting up. I don't think I think I have a right to be on YouTube. I have a right to be a content provider. And I think you guys need to just go do something else with your freaking lives. All right? Get off my back. Stop spying. Here we go.
Okay. So I was working at fucking fast food. I'm a manager at a Burger King, right? Also selling mad drugs out of there. Shit was crazy. It was nice. I had the setup, right? But that's another story. So I'm working one day, right? And I'm in the office I was probably doing some drug dealer shit, you know what I mean? I was probably fucking making up bags, doing something. But I'm in my office and I'm fucking doing some shit. And I get a little commotion up front and everything. So I got to find out what's fucking going on because I got to do that job too. You know what I mean? That's my job. If I don't want to blow my cover, right?
I don't want to blow my cover. Okay. All right. I mean, it's just like saying, it's just like saying I beat a woman, but blah 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 blah. I mean, what's the difference to me? It's like you're talking about something that's criminal as if it's just nonchalant, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. I did blank blank blank. Okay, here's another thing I want to show you. This is how it started, and I'm gonna show you how I know that they were in his chat, how it broke down. Let's look at. Hi. Bless up. Yeah. You know what? I'm tired of this shit. That's how I am. I'm tired of being harassed. I'm tired of people who are associated with me. Now they're being harassed by the same group of people. All right. This was Jolly Bridgeburner's channel, and this was yesterday. I want you to notice that over to the right is the Joker. That is actually Lee Veltman, and he's gonna be a reoccurring character here. So I just want to make sure I have the volume on right. Okay. All right, this is them talking yesterday, I believe, or like even a couple of days ago. Like when was this done? What's the date? Fair use. Obviously, they're claiming fair use on something. The views and opinion information of guests and those participating in our YouTube channel's live chat or comment section do not necessarily affect the review. So she's admitting that it is Lee Veltman. He's changed his profile again. He is now going as the Joker. He's probably going to change it again because he always does when you call him out. Here we go.
And we're live. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing out there in YouTube land?
Yeah, not bad. How you doing?
Oh, it's Friday. Can't complain.
Okay, so it's Friday.
I could, but what's the point here on the boob tube?
So the reason why I'm showing it is because I want you to document their profiles, okay? And I'm kind of doing this spontaneously, so just give me a moment because I sent a bunch of stuff to my email to show you. Okay, now I want you to see something else. This is a screenshot of hidden users from one of the people that is being stalked that was a guest on my show. Can you see that? Let's break this down. Clueless Twin on the internet has been in my chat recently, so obviously looks like they're lumped with them. Here's Smoke King. Here's Joker 37. That is Lee. I've seen this before. Charles Scott, Jolly Bridgeburner, Holden Caulfield, Jilly Beans, Out of Mind, and Drew J. This is like in the hidden users. Somebody, I still can't figure out how to find it out on my channel, but this is the person that they're definitely following, this person that is deciding to shut his channel down. There they are. All right. Okay. See? All right. Now, let me stop the screen share. Okay. So now, wait, what did I do here? I'm going to go back to my comments. I can relate. Yeah, we know. Like a lot of people are victims. Hi, not my rabbit hole with Terry Joyce, and hello, the bug bouncer, Luke Hart, Scarda, superhero. I will be listening along. I just woke up from a nap, not feeling good myself. Oh, Holly, I hope you feel better, and it's nice to see you here. It's nice to see you here because I'm exposed. I just want to expose these people. I'm over it. I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down from you. I'm not backing down, guys. All right. And you can call me a Karen. You can say that you're not doing what you're doing. You can deny it all you want. but I'm not backing down. Here it is. All right. I happened to catch that live and some names are mentioned in a very threatening way. G-Way, not sure why they came back. We are all happy not to see them around anymore. Okay, so I want to show you the graphics of the people, the names that were in the chat room that night. All right, just as comparison. Just so you know that the same people, I'm not really sure. Some of you guys that are coming on, I've never seen your profiles before, and you kind of smack of troll, but I'm not sure. All right. This is his stream last night. Now look who's in the chat. Jolly Bridge Burner, Robin Eaglesong, and the Joker. So they're all in there with him. All right. And basically it was all about, I think, doing commentary on what I said yesterday on my channel about them. And you know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and play that portion of my show too as well, just so you guys can know exactly what I'm talking about. So there they are. Oh, but they're not associated with each other. They don't troll people together. They don't do it collectively. This is like, oh no, it's not. The only people in here you have 12 people, all right? But later on in the night, the only people you had were the people that are associated with Lee Veltman. And you know what? I don't think it was wrong. I don't think it was wrong for me to put that question out in this community, being that I've been around media that's involved with UFOlogy since 2014. Like, being that I was on a show on Truth Seekers with Chanter and Cambion and a few other people to call out Simon Parks as being a female predator, I would think that this, community would have been a little bit more forthcoming in protecting women. But I guess that's not what you're interested in, are you? And that's what I was talking about. And that's what's disappointing about you, Smoke King. And then you try to accuse me of like using this as trying to get clickbait because of your show on Amazon, right? Okay. So now you know that on Friday you see Lee Veltman's thing, you see what's going on. So why don't I just show you like what I talked about yesterday? Hold on. I'll try to go as fast as I can and not lag too much because I can see myself on my thing. I'm like, okay, I should smile more. I look so intense in my screenshots. Okay. Or my thumbnails. Okay, so let me go to my videos here. I live streamed last night. Where's my videos? Library. Short subscriptions. No, darn it. Let me go to my own channel. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Wait. Here it is. It's this one. It's my last show. And I'm going to try to bring it into about here. About here. Let's see. Let me see if I can earmark it when oh, good. And my chat's showing. Okay. Okay. I think it's somewhere in here. All right, let's go. Because most of my show yesterday was commentary on Johnny Depp, wasn't even about them. It was like it was an after mention. Okay, so let's watch this. Justified, you cannot use any of that in your final decision. I wonder if they're going to allow her to come back now, if that's even, they're lumped with that whole grouping. And that grouping is Lee Veltman, Jolie Bridgeburner. Here we go. Okay, it's right in here. Chat rooms. And I really think, okay, I wonder if they're going to allow her to come back now, if that's even, okay, let's just let this play for a minute. But a couple other things I wanted to mention, other than Johnny Depp, because I just, I'm starting with this, but I want to let you guys know a couple of other things that are going on. One of them has to do with, it's going to take you back, but I've done some shows about trolling on the internet, and I have exposed a guy named Lee Veltman who has been trolling other women on the internet. There's been other women, other claims against him, and he has been using sock puppet accounts to go into my chat rooms, and I really think that he has actually still done it. There's still I've been giving some evidence of a grouping of YouTube profiles that are associated really with somebody else's channel, but they're lumped with that whole grouping. And that grouping is Lee Veltman, Jolie Bridgeburner, Robin Inglesong, Out of Mind. And, a lot of the people, and I'm just going to say this, it is a fact, that kind of like are the sect of the Paranormal Hood Club, the CW Chanter, Paranormal Hood, grouping of people that are associated to this type of media, whatever you want to label it. But, that media that we're talking about, Lee Veltman is key in his association to everything BooAnon as well. So I want to bring up that it goes into all of that stuff and more. And for some reason, he has been in my chat room, and that group likes to, like, when I bring it up, or I brought it up in comments on videos or whatever, they want to minimize it, like, oh, well, it's just Lee changing his name and all these different, on this one profile or whatever. But that's kind of impossible, really, totally, because once you block a profile from being able to, leave comments or be in your chat room or anything like that, it doesn't matter if they change their name later. That particular address, or email is no longer going to have access to what you're doing. So he may be changing his identity, but he's on some of his stuff, but he's also using sock puppet accounts, or what would be considered to be sock puppet accounts. And I have, talked a lot about this over the years, but I'm bringing it up again today because I haven't talked about it in a while. I would like to just move on with what I want to do on my YouTube channel and not be focusing on the people that are actually the distraction to the YouTube channel or what we do on YouTube. But now it's become a topic of observation and even a essay that I want to write about it, the phenomena of cyberbullying and trolling, what we call trolling, and the term suicide trolling, where the clumps of people are that do it and what they're actually associated with. I mean, in my case, and in the case of, some other people. And I really think that this is a form of criminal activity on the internet. And I think that eventually in the future, it will not be as easy to collectively work as a group. Like as if we're in, like, it's almost like it has the psychological kind of high school thing where, you know, a group of bullies pick on certain individuals for whatever reason. And I think that there's a profile of person that these people, and I'm talking these people within this group, that they actually choose to target. And I'm bringing it up again because I did a show. Actually, it was about, a week ago. Not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before, about 2 weeks ago, I did a show which I called titled Spring Break Marathon. And I had a few guests, and I have had feedback from one person on the show that was on the panel of that show. And it had, I'll tell you who the names of the people are, but I'm not going to tell you who the people are right now that came to me because I'm still kind of protecting things. But the people on the panel, especially in the beginning, was Kevin Moore. There was Nate Gray. There was a guy named that I had on the show called the Swami from El Monte and Cookie the Psychic Dog. And there was a panel person called Not Charles, who is in fact really Charles from Project Camelot. All right. And Charles Unleashed. Charles from Project Camelot isn't the real guy that was actually interviewed by Bill Ryan. I don't know if you guys really actually, sounds like you could write a book on trolling people. Yeah, I can, and I might. I mean, I think this is a piece, actually. Everything happens for a reason. And, it's like documenting it happen, like happening to me or happening to other people. Well, okay, so let me get back to Charles. Charles is not Charles. He never was that. Like the persona that's online that makes the videos is not the real guy that was interviewed by Bill Ryan. All right. I believe that it was the same guy too for a long time. And honestly, I was confused and thought he was also maybe Ben J. Porter. That's how naive I was in this scenario. But now, I realized that is not, that's not that's not the truth. So anyways, he was on my show, and so was Ben J. Porter. And then there was also a friend of mine named Rusty Diamond. He was in the beginning, and then Holly Baglio joined later on, and so on. If I missed somebody, forgive me. But so after that show I'm glad that my chat is showing here on the right. I want you to also focus on my chat because something's going to happen. Watch. It's aired. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm now learning that a couple of my guests are being harassed and stalked. And I want you guys to know that is happening. And yes, it is coming from Lee Veltman and his camp. All right. I want you to know that right now. I want you to know that information has come to me. And, maybe anybody who listens to me, I think that when I talk about this, I have judgment by some people. First of all, the people that are actually engaging in it don't want to take responsibility to it, and they don't like being outed for doing it. Okay, number one. Number two, I think people just don't think this is actually happening at all, and it couldn't be possible. Like, why would people be doing that to you? Like, you're the one who's paranoid. You're the one who has problems. But the fact of the matter is this is taking place. This has been happening. I do have graphics. I do have screenshots from it happening since 2018, 2017. I mean, this stuff for me goes way back, and it's not just like, you know, on YouTube. It exists. It's happened on my Twitter. It's happened on my Facebook, and everything else that you would be associated with. It has happened on, including creating. I know that there's an email service that you can get that only lasts for 24 hours. So basically, they've been using disposable emails in order to communicate with me, and I'm assuming other people. See, I'm not the only person that this is happening to from the same group of people. And my argument is, okay, she says, so this is just ACD people on the internet who have been isolated too long. Do you think that is? It's OCD people that just, because that's a theory that these are just people that have lost it, and they you know, hi, yeah, hi. There we go. Did you see that?
People that have just
That was the electronic harassment person, okay? And I don't know if they've deleted their messages, because the electronic harassment little thing that profile, that's a woman named Beth. I've had issues with her before, and I'm going to talk about it here. You're going to see me make reference, but she, I blocked her. I talked to her on the phone about a year or so ago, thinking that I could trust her, and I couldn't, obviously. And right when I'm talking about this, all of a sudden she shows up. Well, let me just give you a little bit of background on her recently. She, just like Out of Mind, Deborah Payne, what she does, she ingratiates herself. She ingratiated herself to Not Charles. He talked to her for like maybe a couple of weeks. And then when I did the show, she made a comment saying that be very careful. He comes off as a white knight, but he's really a bad guy. Now, the reason why the white knight terminology, because they're all saying the same thing about him. He preys on women, but first he acts like a white knight. And that's what Jolly Bridgeburner said. That's exactly the same terminology that the electronic harassment lady said. And there's another person that made a comment using the same terminology. So they're all coming from, what I think is they're all coming from the same, they're using the same terminology. They're not breaking it up. Did they all confer with each other when they decided to make their messages? Beth, I'm calling you out. You are not I don't think you're a real TI. I think you have a fake channel, and I've looked at it, and your treatment is bogus, detoxing and all this kind of crap. I think you're a phony TI troll. All right? That's my opinion, because you've trolled me, because I don't trust you. And then now you had, after all this time, because you and I've had a conversation about a lot of things, a lot of people, and you act like you didn't know these people at one point, and I just saw your channel because I'm a TI, blah, 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 but then you know a whole hell of a lot about, you tell me you know things about Charles, right? That's the inconsistency of you. Like, all of a sudden you come back and you have something to say about one of my guests. Like, you have no foreknowledge of anything. Like, you obviously are on somebody else's side, and you're a perp as far as I'm concerned. Lost it, and they don't have anything else to do, in a way. Like, for example, I've heard the profiling of Lee Veltman as he's just a rich guy that doesn't have anything better to do than obsess on these people. But what gets me is they are part of together. Like, Lee Veltman doesn't work alone. Jolly Bridgeburner is like a partner to Lee Veltman. These people associate in clumps together, and when they come at you, they're all mad at you together. I have no idea, but it's certainly upsetting to you, and maybe that's where they get the satisfaction. Of course they do, but you know, the point is, the point is, see, I don't want to give them the satisfaction anymore, but it's happening, and it's happening to other people, and it's happening to my guests. It's happening to my guests. They, to the point of saying that they are being stalked in person. Like it's not just online. Oh, and let me reiterate on that. And it's not only them being stalked in person, but it's people that they know personally that have no association to this media that they're stalking. That's the information I have. When that happens, that's out of line and it's out of control, and they belong to this community. They have channels themselves where it looks like that's all they do on their channel. Like, for example, do any of them talk about, like, say, Johnny Depp, or talk about, or are they even divulging or sharing information? Or do they just sit on their channel and shit talk other people who have channels and insult collectively as a group psychologically? Right? That's what I'm pointing out here. That's what I think is worthy of being discussed and to have a light on, shine a light on it. Like, why do they do it together? You know what? I got to say something to you. There she is. How to survive electronic harassment. Here she is. She just happens to show up at this part of the show. Oh, no, she's not interested in learning about Johnny Depp or, you know, whatever. She comes in now and has something to say. Survive electronic harassment. I don't think that we can, there's no tracing right now that the FBI is like involved with this. Like, I can't go and make those claims as to say, you know, oh, look who else showed up. Tom Morello. Yeah, you're a person too that I actually asked not to be part of. And Tom Morello. Let's talk about Tom Morello for a second. Tom Morello is associated to Sarah Rachel Adams. And Tom Morello approached me, and I had him he even showed up as a guest. I'm just giving you a little bit background on who he is. He came up to me and acted like he was taken advantage by Sarah, but what I found out later on that he was just probing me for information, I think. And he was also, I had researched his phone number on Ben Verified, and it did not come up as him. It came up as somebody else. He also is a person who uses multiple profiles as well. There's 2 Tom Morellos, there's 2 whatever. And then after he recently emailed me, like maybe, I don't know, like a week ago or something like that. And then saying something about Sarah and wanting me to click on some link, which I'd never click on a link or whatever that he sent me or any of these people send me. And I said, stop contacting me. I want you to have I don't want you to make any, I don't want you around me. I want you to leave me alone. And there he is in my chat room at this particular time when I'm talking about this particular topic. I just find that to be a very interesting coincidence. Like, do you show up? Who shows up in somebody's chat when the person says, I don't want you to make contact with me? Isn't that a form of harassment, or am I wrong on that? Am I wrong on this? Tom Morello. Of like, I don't want to communicate with you anymore because you sit on Sarah Rachel Adams' camp, which also plays a part in this. So, it's so weird that you guys show. How does Sarah Rachel Adams play a part of this? Well, let me tell you. When I was doing a show long time ago, I got wind that Lee Veltman was contacted by Taj, that I was talking about him. How do I know this? Because Jeff Reed told me. Jeff Reed told me the time that Lee was pissed off about me and talking to him. Okay? That's how I know. That's how I know Sarah lurks in the background. Showed up right now. Look, I'm not talking about like I know suicide trolling and trolling people and cyber harassment is global. That's why it's a relative conversation. But I'm paring it down to the people that are associated with our community or our line. I don't even know if it's the community. I'm talking about this media, talking about the things that we talk about that even intersects with BUAnon or did intersect with BUAnon, and there's still a damn link to it. I'm talking about that group. I'm focusing on
and
who associates with BUAnon? Who's been all up in that scenario? That would be Lee Veltman. And what people who have who represent the TI community. I am discussing that group. Why? And you know, when you bring it into like, oh, well, the FBI is doing it and blah, 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 blah. Well, then you are bringing it into conspiracy world. Now, there is you might want to take it to what's happening in Michigan with the governor that, that the reason why they couldn't convict those guys who apparently were allegedly kidnapping her was because the FBI was like coercing them or grooming them into doing something like that. But for right now, I'm just examining I don't know all the reasons why people who are part of the UFO media are doing it. Look, Lee Veltman, and I don't believe him, to be honest with you, because I've caught Lee Veltman just like pulling information and throwing them together in like some sort of word salad combination. Where he's like, oh, I did this and I was at this teen abuse center. And he acts like he's the only person that has a legitimate knowledge of things like Nexium or whatever. You know what I mean? But if anybody else delves into these conversations, it's like he attacks anybody who is talking about particular topics. And I want to know, what's the big deal? Why does he make such an effort to be in my chat room? And why is he making such an effort to harass my guests? I'll tell you something, and I know, look, electronic harassment, Beth, I know your name's Beth. We go way back. I'm just going to say it, Beth. It's interesting you showed up right now because you have been a part of the conversation. All right. You came and started how did you know Charles from Project Camelot? How all of a sudden you made it a point to tell me that he was perping on people. I'll tell you something, guys. Some of you, there's been false identities online that have been created to be like him that are actually harassing women. And I'm going to point the finger to your group as a possibility of being responsible for it. And that's just real perp material. And I'll tell you this, electronic harassment survived. First of all, I'm not so much a believer in the electronic harassment world. And I think you're a ruse. You're a phony, just like Lee Veltman is. All right? I'm calling you out. We're severed again because I severed you before and you did the same thing that Deborah did. You're the same thing that Out of Mind does. You guys have a pattern. You kissed his ass. I know you kissed his ass and acted like you were his friend, his buddy for 2 weeks online before you turned your back on him on my channel. You're a classic perp. I don't know your last name. I don't remember your last name, but I got your phone number because we talked on the phone. Tom Morello, I don't want you in my chat. I do not want you speaking here. And the fact that you showed up is says a lot on this when I'm talking about this topic. And guess what? How to survive electronic harassment. Tell Lee Veltman I said hello, lady. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of stop it there because at that point I pretty much like kicked them out of the chat, and then I said a few more things, but I don't want to I mean, like, I don't want to be like, some of the stuff that I said earlier today right now is like probably going to come off a little bit redundant, right? Because I said some of this in the beginning. I'm just showing you like what happened yesterday. All right, so let's go back. Smoke King, are you following this? First we have like a proof that that Jolly Bridge Burner, and we can see their profiles. We can see the profiles associated with your chat last night. I know you were talking about me. You've reshared something that I've clipped from last night, so you know I was watching. I'm assuming that you want to call everybody a Karen who claims that they are being traced by people that you. How do you associate? How come the same people who are tracking my guest? How come those are the same people listening to you spout off and like strut your feathers and try to act in code words? The journalist, the Karen, the whatever. Let me ask you something. Is this the damage? Is this the damage control? Like like you're talking about, like when you were like back in 25 years ago, like dealing drugs in the back room of like Burger King, and then all of a sudden you had a Karen up at the front desk that you had to go to, and you had to go there because you had to do your job because you had to keep appearances. Are you doing the same shit now? You still in the drug business? And that you think you have to come out and say something? I mean, how do we know you're not still in the drug business? I mean, you certainly have enough pot to roll up and smoke over and over again. You must be growing, right? I think there's a YouTube channel, I think, where you show your grow, right? And you might be legal. You might be following state guidelines, but then again, maybe you're not. Maybe you're selling a little bit under the table. I don't have proof for that, but we certainly know that that's what you've done in the past. So what makes us want to believe that you're not doing it now? That's my question. That's the question when you show stuff like that to people, because it's a part of your character, correct? Could it be part of your character? Or did you find Jesus and evolve? And I'm saying that facetiously, because you have a history. You have a history of drug dealing. And that makes you not a credible source about what you're doing. It already means you've got criminal in your background. It already means you've got criminal activity or a criminal take on things. It discredits your legitimacy. Doesn't matter if it happened 25 years ago. It happened and you're associated. And I'm going to show you exactly how associated he is to drugs. Hold on. Here we go. I can't prove it, but I think this was incredibly interesting to me. And I'm going to start with the first graphic. I know, Burger King. Yeah, selling drugs out of Burger King. I wonder what Burger King has to say about that. Do they know that that's what you were doing? Okay. Here's somebody that approached me the first week that Smoke King was going off on me, and then Smoke King tried to send me a cease and desist. So lame, through the internet, means nothing. And then this guy shows up, Willie Miko, official TTF Willie Instagram, 40K followers, 454 posts. Okay, you don't know each other. You don't follow each other on Instagram. So he personally IM me. I didn't respond, but I kept the graphics. These are my receipts. Smoke King. Hi, Terry. He spelled my name right. Obviously, he must know me good enough to spell my name right? Thank you for spelling my name right. Willie Miko. Hi, Terry. I know you probably don't know who I am, but I'm Willie Miko. I'm a content creator activist in Canna and psychedelic community. I hope when this DM reaches you that you're doing well. My reason for reaching out is because I recently, okay, let's go to the next one. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Okay, I was made aware of the whole issue involving PH, Jiggy, and Smoke King. Well, you know what? I never really meant for it to happen to include Jiggy. That's something that Smoke King wanted to push to cover up for the fact that he won't take responsibility that he harbors a female predator in his group. That's what I think, because he can't come clean about the activity of people that that his channel is associated with. And did I not show you who was in the chat last night talking about or covering this? How would he even know that I even said anything if you guys aren't watching and reporting it? Oh, did you have to come out like in the back of the room at Burger King and deal with what you want to say is a Karen, which would be like you're calling me a Karen for pointing out that this has been happening, that this has been happening to me for 5 years? Oh, no. Don't even think for 1 second that this is overreacting of anything. It's long overdue is what it is. I typically ain't part of this community. Oh, but you certainly want to come and talk to me about it and negotiate. I guess you can't afford a lawyer, right, Smoke King? So you got to have your little drug buddy to come in and try to make me an offer. Huh? Is that what it is? I typically ain't part of this community that they're involved in, but I do have a personal relationship, friendship outside that with Jiggy especially, but also Smoke. I'm hoping from creator to another that's trying to wake up people up and make the world a better place that we can speak as friends or colleagues. Recently, Jiggy's family reached out to me, very hurt about the recent events, and they filled me in and asked if I can't try to help in any way possible. First of all, why would his family be reaching out to you? Why would they determine that the fact that I asked Smoke King, all right? It just so happened Jiggy passed away at the same time that I came out and said this. That's all. It's just coincidental. So for me to ask their association or why ask, hey, because Smoke King, you should have dealt with it. You should have taken control and said, no, you know what? We don't do this to people. I don't know. You should have done something. You should, the way you treated me, the way you bullied me, your actions, the things you did on the internet, this guy talking to me, the accusations were completely offensive to me and unacceptable. Recently, Jiggy's family, really, you know what? I want to see the receipts. Smoke King, do you have receipts? I mean, real dated receipts of the family. What happened? They're not pissed anymore? Because they don't have anything. Because you don't have anything on me. Nothing. Zilch. You don't have anything other than getting in behind your freaking webcam and smoking a bunch of blunts and then harassing me from your webcam. That's all you have. Nothing to show for nothing. You have no receipts. You have nothing on me. Recently, Jiggy's family. Okay, if I can try to help in any way possible, I want to be the first one to say, I don't know anyone in their chats or anything. But if someone is bullying or being abusive towards, let's keep going because it gets worse. Fuck. Here we go. I want to be the first one to say, I don't know, okay, anyone in the chats, but if someone bullies you or for being abusive towards anyone, including you, it's disgusting. I don't tolerate anything like that whatsoever. I want to help both sides come together to resolve this and help prevent this from ever happening again if possible. Is that something you would be willing to work with me on? Who is this guy? Really, seriously, why should I even trust him? If so, I would ask that you please remove anything involving pH, jiggy, or smoke that can be seen as negative. In return, I would also have smoke removed anything negative or demeaning towards you or your contact and never speak it again. I will also have them remove the moderator's abilities from anyone that has. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Oops. Okay. Wait. Here's the other one here. I will also have them remove the moderator abilities from anyone that has been so disgusting to you, and also make a very straight to the point public statement saying bullying, sexism, stalking, suicide, trolling is low life stuff and not welcome on their chat. And if they see it happens, then individuals will be blocked indefinitely. As at the end of the day, I'm a lover, not a hater, and I want to see everyone do great things and make positive impact in the world. So I think this would be a good for all sides, so everyone can get back to making content that makes a difference. Yeah, where's Smoke King's content that makes a difference? And let me tell you something. Who are you? Like, how does this guy out of nowhere able to stopping statement, bullying, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this. Does Smoke King answer to this guy? Like, why? Like, they can't get a real attorney. They have to have some psychedelic grower. Mushrooms are not legal yet, guys. So, not to say that, I mean, granted, I don't have a problem with them being used for pharmaceutical reasons or whatever, but they're at the moment, they're not legal. All right. And now here, I'm going to go even more. I also would owe you one if you ever needed me to keep me. See, here he's talking about my journalism. He can help me now. Also, so everyone can get back to making content that makes a difference. Also, I would owe you one if you ever needed to make me help make any connections for your journalism work or in the cannabis psychedelic world. I'm very well respected in these areas, and I'd rather help build bridges than burn them. I hope this comes across as sincere, and I'm just wanting the best for everyone. I understand that this isn't possible, but I thought I'd at least try to take a few minutes to help everyone. I'm a neutral party. No, you're not. In the issue, but I love everyone. Oh, you do? Okay, that's great. I love everyone, so I guess it's a gift and a curse. LOL. Also, please keep this between us if possible, as I just want to do this out of love and not recognition. You're super funny, by the way. Okay, he's kissing my ass. And I hope you can get back to doing what you really love soon instead of this poop. With that, how does this guy even know me? Who is he? And I'll tell you, I'm gonna. And when I looked at him on the internet and his channel, he doesn't show his face. He does these videos, and he doesn't show his identity. And I'll tell you something. I find that to be really suspicious. And then he ends with, I'll show it again. Okay. I hope this comes across as sincere. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And you're blah, blah, blah. And with that said, have a wonderful day and stay safe. Also, no matter what anyone says about you, you are loved. Okay. Go fuck yourself. Really, seriously. It's just bullshit. All right. And, so the mushroom guy is stepping in to try to negotiate. If I take everything down on my channel where I'm pointing out what's going on, they can take down what they say about me. I don't really, you can say whatever you want about me, What you're doing, what you did last night, Smoke King, that's a form of bullying. It's a form of bullying. You have nothing to answer for yourself. It's not okay. It's not okay what you're doing. It's not okay what you accuse me of. Your channel sucks as far as I'm concerned. And you want to act like this isn't happening. It is happening. It is happening. You got a mushroom guy. You got a criminal background. You got bullies in your chat room. Your whole show was basically for me last night. And none of it's okay. None of it's okay. Yeah, you can sit back and you can talk about people's channels and blah, 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 and do whatever you think you want. I'm a public personality. You can say whatever you want. But I'm calling you out for harboring a person that stalks women, which is Lee Veltman. End of story. Why don't you take my channel out of your mouth, Smoke King? You take my name out of your mouth. How about that? How does that feel? Take my name and my channel out of your mouth. I'll just be like you. You take not my rabbit hole out of your mouth, Smoke King. I think you look like a punk ass bitch. And on that note, I'm going to say goodnight because I have a journalism assignment to finish. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great Sunday.
Mm-hmm.